Welcome to NBA 2K25's build guides. We're doing a deep dive into the under 6'4" players in this game. A lot of really important builds when you're running PG. And I have some bigger ones as well, but for this video, we're sticking with 6'4" and under. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to them. There's many different versions, and it just really depends on what you're looking for your play style. And don't think that one build is better than the other. It's really about what your play style and what your preference is, and then that's going to be where you decide. And I'm going to help you by breaking down some of the best attributes and where you should be focusing on depending on what mode and what style of play you like. So lock in, it's going to be a good time, and I'm super excited. By the way, I do have giveaways for VC and the full game. So hit up the channel and get yourself a chance to win. You want to do this all year long, so just leaving a comment gives you a chance, and I'll just select winners and announce them, whether it's on Twitter, Discord, or right in the YouTube. So lock in. Okay, with that out of the way, let's do it. Let's dive into these shorties. And the first thing I'm going to do is give you a quick preview at a few builds. This isn't necessarily what you want to do, but what I want to talk about is that you can have contact dunks and amazing threes with good dribbles, but it's going to cost you your defense. And if you're playing something like ones, it'll be very hard. If you get the ball, you might win the game consistently and not have to worry about defense. But to get the ball, it's going to be a lot of work. And then the other side is if you're playing fives with a build like this, you're capable of passing amazing. You can see right here, I got Bailout on silver, Visionary on silver, and then Dimer on Hall of Fame. Those three make it so that my teammates are getting crisp, fast passes at a 92. You're zipping the passes. They're not going to get intercepted as much. You're going to be doing a good job if that's what you play. But as I said, there's many different versions of this that we'll get into. But as you can see, I have contact dunks. 86 gives you the unlock for small contact dunks. And then a 40 for standing dunks gives you the capability to unlock the standing dunk animations. Then, of course, we'll get into the shooting, and we're going to get into all these other important things, but it also depends on your playstyle. This isn't necessarily the build I would recommend, but it's definitely gonna be pretty amazing out there. Like you have a lot of the badges. Look at this: lightning launch on legend. Then this is where the build hurts. It's like, okay, well, I actually can dribble without all of those badges. Unpluckable is the only one that I would want higher, but I can use a max +1 or something like that. Put some cap breakers in here, and this is the game plan. And we'll get into all of that discussion about it. But this is one of the builds that I will recommend. Somebody just wants to be a serious offensive threat. He's dominating, and basically you can play 5 out, you can play pick and roll, whatever you want on fives. But then when it comes to like twos, for example, you're gonna get bodied, ISO'd, and dunked on. You're gonna need help defense. It's gonna be very difficult for you and your center. So that's where you start changing things and going forward. So what we're going to do is actually go into a template, and I'm going to run down very quickly a couple of builds that I've already researched. And this is all information from the top players, from pro players, from players who are literally number 1 or number 5, in between 1 through 5. I've talked with them and asked them about, what they're doing out there and what they're seeing, what they love, and all of that good stuff. And it's important to think about that. Before I get into the main type of build you should make, which I will just tell you, spoiler alert, 6'3" is better than 6'4". You shouldn't make a 6'4" at all. 6'3" gives you mini marksman, which is mini magician basically. But so you don't want to do 6'4". If I go 6'4" right now and I try to get my 3 up, I'm not getting this. It's just one badge that makes a big difference. Why would I do that when I can just go down 1 inch and then get mini magician? Now I can get it on whatever I want, right? So just keep that in mind. 6'3" would be the highest in these tier of play styles. But what we're gonna do is go all the way down to 6'9". Get this one out the way. This isn't the one I recommend at all. I feel like it's good in the game. It's game breaking in many regards. But at the same time, like, no, we'll see. I'm gonna show y'all some of the attributes and give you like a breakdown. For example, this is gonna be maxed out at 75 just to be able to to dunk when you get a lane. Basically, you're gonna be trying to get the three all game, right? Like, that's all that matters, right? You're gonna get the three. You're gonna put this up to, and I know you're probably wondering, damn, a 99.3. Yeah, we're gonna be that deadly, okay? And then I got a 94 dribbles. Okay. I can use a cap breaker to get this up 2 points if I want to give myself unpluckable Hall of Fame. I feel like I'm good with my gold. Okay. And so that's just me though. But so right here, I'm dropping this down to get my Hall of Fame lightning, and I'm going to explain some of it. But basically, you want an 85 here strictly to get interceptor specifically. This is going to allow you to steal. And then a 71 to get challenger on bronze at least. Contest a little bit, just a little bit. Then you want some interior, even though I know it looks like this is like, how are you making this build? As I said to you guys, this is really more about a specific role. You're playing fives, for example. So you're going to be able to play the pick and roll and handle your business. And then within 78, you're going to get visionary. Visionary helps you do really good creative passes, high risk passes, and alley-oops more successful, right? So this is pretty much the standard. I mean, I could boost up a couple of little things barely, but this is the build more or less. And then you would tweak a thing or two where you want it. But the reason I want to bring up the small guards is because you have this capability to have this at least interceptors, pretty good, and some steals, and then your offense is outrageously good. All right, when you're this fast and short, you're literally zooming through the court and you're waiting to shoot mid ranges or threes. All right, so this is overpowered. And then like if they're playing you tight, which they have to, you can go for dunks at 75, and you're gonna unlock a lot of good ones at 75, to be honest. And then defensively, you're just trying to steal the ball. You're not there to block anybody. You're not there to be like a multi-talented player. You're just there to get those interceptions when they try to pass to the guy you're guarding. That's it. Be a menace. Okay. And this is a really good build. And top players right now on the 3v3 courts are using this. And this is something I would recommend highly. Now we're gonna get into the fives, and this is more of what I would call the meta, okay? And this is pretty much overpowered, and we're gonna use this as a template to tweak it in different ways to go forward. So first things first, contact dunks on a small build that's too fast to be guarded at the three. You're like the most annoying person to guard, but we're just gonna max it out for now, just to kind of show you what's up. And then this is gonna go up at least to 50, and then our 3-pointers is going up to 91. We're just maxing it out, basically, right? That shot specialist, people don't realize this allows you to actually shoot most of your shots. When I do a step back, it turns into a set shot because I take a second before I shoot, right? So even though this is supposed to be higher and we want that higher, we're not really worried about that as much. You'll see what I mean as you play the game. You'll start realizing it. And then again, I've told everybody 85 is the minimum to be a good point guard if you're playing fives. Okay, this is for fives. This is for fives. I repeat, for fives. If you can play this on twos and threes and all that good stuff. But you can see right here, this is more or less what I have on my 6'6", and I basically don't get the ball stolen much at all, unless I run into somebody. Basically, unless it's my mistake, not the game's mechanics. So then I got specifically at 91 for lightning launcher. Amazing stuff, right? And again, this research is done from all of the top players that have been playing this game. And again, this is like broken record, but 85 unlocks interceptor, which is good enough. Lanes are crazy this year, crazy. And we're going all the way up to get some blocks on a little 6'3". Whenever you try to dunk on them, you're gonna get some heat with that, you know. And that's pretty much the build right here. I pretty much did everything I could. I would put some more free throws, of course. I can hit at a 65. I'm gonna be honest. I've been hitting with my my main, park build with a 65. But put this up as high as you want. Maybe other things like layups. You can do all types of different things with the pieces. You want to be a better point guard, add this, whatever. Just a couple extra points, throw them where you want. It's not that big of a deal. You can't hit the free throws, put this up, and then you're good to go. And that is the build right there, folks. And this is legitimately being used by the pro players who are been in the 2K League and champions. So it's definitely like the number one that I would do. I'm not going with the 6'9". I'm not going with 6'4". Definitely not going with 6'4". So 6'3", 6'2", if you wanted to kind of like tweak it in different ways. And then look, I have cap breaker capabilities to boost up, whether it's my dunks, whether it's my dribbling or passing. I can use cap breaker on my defense, put an extra 5 on there, get a 90, and remember, you get 15 cap breakers, but you're going to automatically get 5 if you play the game for more than 2 weeks or a month. So that's pretty much the rundown for the build. This is key. And the only thing I want to try to talk about outside of this is the main premise of basketball, where you have to know your game. And I'm going to get into some of the animations while I talk about knowing your game and understanding, like, okay, what mode are you playing? What are you doing out there? This and that. And we have a discussion about it, because truth is that is very important. So for example, what would I put on? Oh, wait, I forgot to level this up. What would I put on for my dribbles? First of all, there's plenty of good small players. We're not going to go through a dribble animation. We'll probably do a video and put that up next. But you can put this in here, picking whatever you feel is the best for you. Garland's the easiest one to get used to. He's like the smoothest one, but there's plenty of more. And the same thing with the animations. Now, they are one tip I will give before I get into just breaking down builds and stuff like that is sometimes, man, like, you go watch my video and I tell you put these animations on, but if I'm playing 2s or 3s, I got so much space. I can put on crazier animations and do different tricks. If you're playing 5s, you need a tight play. Okay, so like moving behind the backs, right? Those are things that are very important. So you pick a behind the back that's going to let you see that wide one is too wide while I'm moving. I want something tighter, and so I need to put on something that's going to keep me the ball in my hand safely, like that. Those fast, quick, forward moving ones. Depending on what type of player you are, it's important to kind of think about that. And so that's just some food for thought on what you should be doing and why you should be doing what you're doing. I do want to kind of touch on a couple of points with these builds. As a point guard, if you're really going to get out there online, okay, this is what I got to say to you guys. Like, practice being better individually. So if you're able to create your own shot, like go into the ones and create your own shot with your point guard, and if you can do that every time consistently, then that's going to get you doubled when you play 3s or 5s. And that's going to get you what you need to be a good point guard. Okay. Don't go out there unable to make plays for yourself and create a shot, unable to make plays for your teammates. All right. That is not basketball. And so I don't recommend people to make point guards, basically, unless you're really dedicated to being great and being the leader, because you have to be the leader. It's not like you make a point guard and say, hey, somebody else handle the ball. No, most of the other players have to do specific things. Your center and your wings don't have a lot of dribbling most of the time. Their focus is defense, spotting up for shooting and finishing at the rim. That's their job. And then your shooting guard can have dribbling and help you out, but it's not their official job. So I recommend just learning little go-to moves, learning, how to get create a shot for yourself, all that stuff, having specific things that work. And you're watching my highlights, for example, from Proving Grounds, me just practicing. This is honestly the truth. Is exactly what I'm telling you is what I'm doing here when the game release, doing Proving Grounds to learn my game and how I'm capable of defending, how I'm capable of creating my own shots. And then this, when I get into fives, people playing with me are going to have open looks because I'm going to keep getting double teamed. I'm able to hit my shots. I'm able to score in the paint, and they're going to have to double team me every play. And so this is a big deal, but I just wanted to point that out and make sure that that's a part of this video as I recommend the builds to make more or less. And last but not least, I want to do one more version of these builds. Pretty much the same build that you saw just now is what I want to try to talk about. And I'm going to give you a tweaked version before I go. A little sneak peek, man. We were about to end it. Now let's just say, hey, you know what? I want to have the same build, but I'm going to drop this down to 75 so I can have more attributes. And now I can go crazy with my steals, for example, or my perimeter defense, which is very important this year to contest. Okay. Maybe I want more speed because I want to be able to just get around and move around. Right. These are choices you can make. I'm like, hey, I just want to get steals at a 91. Oop, I got it at a 90. So then now start tweaking some things and saying, okay, well, I could drop some of this stuff. I don't need that much close shot for a small guard. I'm not going to be in the paint mashing some shots. So I'll just steal it from there, put this up, and now look at that. Got some gloves. Okay. And so this is the type of thing that you can do. Personally, I like passing, like being a good passer. So 91 is super good. So all of a sudden, look at this. I boosted some badges and my attributes on two things by taking off the contact dunks. I'm still going to be an amazing dunker. Trust me. And this is the type of tweaks that are going to make a big difference in your game in the long run. And then all of a sudden now this is in the fives. It's really solid and it's going to be able to hold its own defensively to a certain extent. So there you go. And that's just a quick last minute tip, but I hope y'all enjoyed it. I do got more guides for guards. I'm going to do animations and things like that. This takes a lot of time, guys, just so y'all know, like the reason these don't come out the same day the game releases because I'm not faking it. We're not giving you information that's not true, right? Like we're giving you actually played research by top players themselves. All right. I'm a YouTuber. I know what it's like. You want to make a video and put out, hey, this is the best build in the game. No, it's not. It's not true. You wait until top players are using the builds. You wait until you see who's really dominating, what is working for them. And then they remake their build and they tweak 5 things, 5 different attributes all the way to different levels. And then you say, okay, this makes more sense now. They dropped their interior defense because they're 6'3", and they put up their steals to be able to get those steals consistently. That works better, or something simple like that. And so that's why these take long, and they're not going to be, the lying that happens on YouTube, unfortunately. And I'm not taking shots at people, but I need people to be real with you guys, the audience. These are just templates. Play how you feel, man. Enjoy yourself. All right. So I'm gonna holla at y'all. Go ahead and check out that next video popping up, and make sure you enter the giveaways because I want to give away as much as possible all year long. I appreciate y'all.